What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta, Chief Content Officer here at Vype Media with Josh Cook, Managing Editor. All right, what are we doing here? Why are we coming to you live? We are getting ready to reveal our 2021 Vype Volleyball Preview 14th Annual. It's going to be awesome.
Was there supposed to be smoke or something?
It was. Smoke machine, cue the glitter, etc.
the glitter. So you mentioned this is the 14th, and you've, over the years of Vype, you've put a lot of superstars on the covers. Is there like a group or one that just sticks out that like went on to big things, and you're like, man, that's one of the greatest covers we ever did?
Chloe Collins, she just was inducted into our Vype Hall of Fame. She played at Cy Woods, and then she went to Texas, and then she plays over in Europe. Molly McCage won a national championship for the University of Texas, came out of Klein Collins. Skylar Fields, also at University of Texas, really killing the game. Yossi Presley at Cy Falls, went to Baylor, was amazing. Man, the list goes on and on. So many talented kids to come out of the city of Houston. This is a hub, hotbed, recruiting, first stop. You must be here to build your team. Any college program loves to make a stop here in Houston. And,
of course, also on that list from last year, and she was actually a two-time cover athlete, Allie Badenhorst, who became the first ever National Gatorade Player of the Year for volleyball. She's going to do amazing things. She's with the Olympics, not in the Olympics right now, but she's with one of the Olympic development teams. They're playing really well. She will be one in a few years that we're going to see in the Olympics, winning national championships and so forth, and she was on it twice.
Yeah, and she could be the best player in the history of the city of Houston in volleyball. And that's saying something, because there's been a lot of talent come through the Bayou City as it relates to volleyball. So
I don't have a drum. Like drum roll or something? Or?
With that being said, let's take a look at the 2021 Vype cover. Here we go. Man, one of the best that we've seen. Great venue. Tell us about the venue first. We'll talk about the kids.
Yeah, so this year was really special. We got to go to Lagomar Lagoon and also Balmoral Crystal Clear Lagoon and Beach Club. That's where the cover was actually shot. It's located in Humble. It's just this neat, like, you don't even feel like you're like in Texas anymore. No. You walk in there and there's beaches and there's cabanas and there's this huge lagoon that's like 55 million gallons. So huge thanks to those two locations for hosting our 2021 Vype Volleyball photo shoot. We did shoot it at Balmoral Crystal Clear Lagoon. That's where we did the cover. And Matt, tell us a little bit about the 5 girls that went on the cover.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to draft our cover. Are you ready?
Draft it?
We're going to draft our cover.
Goodness.
Okay.
Who
do you feel is the best player, and we'll draft by the people on our cover? I'm going to have the first pick.
I already know who you're going with.
I'm going with Ava Underwood from Fulshire. She plays libero, and she's a setter. She is the feistiest kid in Houston as it relates to volleyball. She's going to Texas A&M last year. Has a state championship ring from 2 years ago. They went to the state tournament again the year before that. But I didn't know this. She started at Seven Lakes High School. Amy Cataline coached her in the very beginning of her career. What a great story. What a legacy she's left.
Yeah, I mean, she already has 2 medals around her neck. She has a state runner-up. She has a state championship. She wants to get one more. She, of course, is verbally committed to go to Texas A&M to play volleyball. So, I mean, Ava Underwood, no doubt that a Fulshire player should have been on the cover this year. So, for me, I'm going to go with the state champ, Casey Badenhorst. Casey Badenhorst, the third of the Badenhorst sisters. Of course, your older sister, Allie, graduates. She's on to Nebraska. Casey sets for Seven Lakes, returns as a state champion this year. She got to hold the state championship trophy on the cover. Just interesting for her. Dennis Silva II did an amazing story that people will see here in a few weeks about how she has I can't remember. I think it's Duane syndrome, and she can't really see out of one of her eyes to the right. So she'll see double. Yeah. So sometimes she's seeing double out on the court but when you're trying to hit a ball, that's kind of difficult. So it's amazing to me that she's been able to overcome that be a state champion setter. She'll be the leader of this team coming into this year, setting for them, and she's going to SMU.
George Ranch could be real this year, right?
Yes, they can.
I'm on the bandwagon. Don't let me down on this. George Ranch is loaded, and Logan Lednicki is a star. She is rangy, 6'2" at least. Another player headed to Texas A&M. I like her game. She's very versatile, very athletic. She is going to be special. If she has a big season, they have Allie Sheck over there also going to Baylor. She didn't have to do it by herself. They're loaded. Watch out for George Ranch.
Yeah, George Ranch on paper is going to look really, really good this year. Also, Avery Shematis as well over there at George Ranch.
God bless you.
On George Ranch, there's so much talent, but Logan Lednicki for sure. I mean, it's hard when you have a team like that. I mean, it's like Fulshear. I mean, you look at Fulshear.
Right,
we had Alexis DaCosta on the cover last year, and so on and so forth with that list. So another cover kid, on this team that I really like is Kirsten McFall of Klein.
Yes,
Klein makes it all the way to the state championship match last year. We had an all Class 6A or Class 6A state championship. It was all Houston. It was Klein versus Seven Lakes. It was really cool. It was the first Houston area state champion in the highest classification since 2014, since the Woodlands did it. But Kirsten McFall is interesting because she's really going to have to take a leadership role this season because you have the likes of Devin Taylor, who went to Clemson. She's gone. Annie Antar is gone. So really, this is McFall's team now. And Klein, I mean, they bring back a lot of pieces. This is not, I mean, Seven Lakes and Klein, you could see these two kind of jiving there at the end for the championship again. But, you know, she's a North Florida commit, tall, lengthy player, plays really well in the middle. On the outside, I mean, she's just going to be a good piece for Klein, and she's going to be the leader of that crew.
She's got to step up and be the leader. She's kind of
It's
quiet.
her time.
I do love her, but she's kind of quiet. She's got to just be that girl. She's watched so many great players come through there. Now it's her time.
Maybe this will allow her, though, with Devin and all these graduations.
Maybe
she'll see, like, okay, it's time for me to step into that leadership role.
Morgan Perkins of Episcopal, a beast. She's going to the University of Oklahoma. Here's the thing about it. It was weird last year. SBC just didn't really get off the ground volleyball-wise because they didn't know if they're going to have a championship, if they're going to play, whatever. Anyways, let's just chalk that season off as a non-season. She's a star. She's tremendous on the circuit as it relates to club volleyball. And she's got a gigantic ceiling. Only child, which I like because I'm an only child also. Very chill kid. But she's another one that's going to have to kind of break out of the shell and be that leader. It's out of her comfort zone. She talks about it in the story. But I got a lot of faith in Morgan Perkins this year.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at this cover. Those are the cover girls. So you have Morgan Perkins of Episcopal going to Oklahoma. You have Kirsten McFall of Klein going to North Florida. You've got Ava Underwood of Fulshear. She's going to Texas A&M. You got Logan Lednicki of George Ranch. She's going to Texas A&M as well. And then you have
Casey
Badenhorst going to SMU from the state champion Seven Lakes Spartans. So, I mean, that's a pretty. It's always interesting every year because I think people don't realize how much goes into us picking cover kids.
Yes, it's not easy.
Like, there's a lot of debate.
Much debate.
Like, we start with a list, and then it's like we have to get it down to the 5 best players that we think. And that's hard in the city of Houston.
Fulshear could have an entire team that was on our cover.
For sure.
Klein is kind of the same way. And same with George Ranch. They just have so many really, really good players in those. Okay, so go get this magazine. It's chock full of great photos, great stories. It'll be out here in a couple weeks. Go to shopvype.com. Check us out on Twitter also. You can find all the information, where to get the magazines on our Twitter, which is @VypeHouston. Also follow all of our social media channels throughout the state of Texas and Houston, regardless of sport. We covered all. We're the best in the business, bro.
Yeah, right there.
Best in the business.
Dream team.
All right. This is Matt. This is Josh. Watch out. What's next? Football, baby. It's coming next. So watch out for that in a couple weeks.
But volleyball first.
Volleyball first.
We got to get all excited about volleyball because volleyball season starts first week of August. It's coming. It's tournaments this year, so we get to go see some tournaments. Very excited.
Yes.
And then football.
Football is on the horizon. So, all right, with that, we will sign out. See y'all on social at the games. Be there. There's no more restrictions, it looks like. Let's get after the games. This is Matt with Vype. Josh, go.